Not long ago, I met Mr. Walter, a 74-year-old man with silver hair and a slightly stooped posture. He used to be the kind of person who took morning walks around the neighborhood, always greeting everyone with a bright smile. But over the past few months, I noticed something had changed. His pace had slowed, he seemed tired more often, and sometimes he'd lose his balance, so suddenly that he had to sit down right there on the sidewalk. I asked him what was going on. He just shook his head and said, "I guess I'm just getting old. These legs aren't what they used to be." But you know what? After walking a few laps around the park with him, I realized it wasn't age that was stealing his strength. It was the little habits in the way he walked. Habits that many people over 60 have picked up without even realizing it. You might not notice it either, but small things like how you step, your posture, or even the shoes you wear repeated day after day can actually make your legs weaker much faster than you think. And here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. You can turn it around. In today's video, we're going to explore 6 common walking mistakes that many people over 50 unknowingly make, and more importantly, how to fix them so your legs can stay strong, steady, and full of energy with every step you take. If you've ever felt like your steps are less sure, or you get tired just a few blocks into your walk, this video is for you. Don't be too quick to blame it on age. Sometimes just a few small changes can completely shift how your body moves and feels. So what are those habits, and how can we fix them without fancy gear or hiring a professional trainer? Let's start with the first one, a habit that seems harmless, but might actually be quietly weakening your legs every single day. I still remember the first time I took a walk with Mrs. Ellen, my 71-year-old neighbor. She was always the first one out of the house every morning, holding a warm cup of coffee, strolling slowly down the sidewalk. But there was one thing I couldn't help but notice. The entire time we walked, she almost never looked up. So I asked her, "What are you looking for down there?" She smiled and said, "Oh, it's just a habit. I like to watch my step, so I don't trip." And honestly, it made sense. Who doesn't want to be safe, right? But the sad truth is that safe habit was actually doing more harm than good. It was quietly making her posture worse with each passing day. See, when you walk with your head down, your head, which weighs about as much as a large watermelon, shifts your center of gravity forward. The result? Your shoulders start to hunch. Your spine curves unnaturally, losing its natural alignment. Your thighs and knees tense up to keep you balanced, instead of moving fluidly. This doesn't just wear out your leg muscles. It also slows down your reflexes, making it harder to react to sudden obstacles, which ironically makes you more likely to trip or fall. After that walk, I showed her a simple adjustment. Next time, instead of looking down at your feet, try looking straight ahead, about 10 to 15 feet in front of you. Keep your chin level with the ground and let your shoulders relax. We walked a few more laps around the park, and just a few days later, she told me, "You know, my legs don't feel as tired anymore, and my back feels lighter too." Our bodies are incredibly smart. When we walk the right way, we feel it. We feel lighter, more balanced, more comfortable. But when we walk the wrong way, our bodies let us know with soreness, fatigue, and instability. So next time you're out for a walk, ask yourself, am I looking forward or looking down in defeat? Good posture doesn't just make your legs stronger. It makes you look more confident, more alert, and even a little younger. Now let's talk about another sneaky habit. Taking steps that are too short and slow, to the point where your legs are barely doing any work at all. Let's dive into why short strides can have long-term consequences, and how a small adjustment can make every step you take feel stronger and more energized. Last week, I happened to be walking behind an older gentleman, probably in his early 70s, at the grocery store. What caught my attention wasn't the cane he was carrying, but the way he walked. His steps were tiny, barely lifting off the ground. It looked like every step took effort, and my heart sank, not out of pity, but because I knew walking like that day after day would slowly weaken his legs, and he probably didn't even realize it. When you take small steps, maybe out of fear of getting tired, fear of tripping, or simply out of habit, what actually happens? Your thigh and hip muscles don't stretch or activate fully. Your knees and ankles barely move, losing flexibility over time. Your feet don't roll smoothly from heel to toe, reducing your natural balance. Bit by bit, the large muscle groups in your legs begin to weaken. Like a machine that's not being used properly, it starts to break down. One of my friends, Jack, age 66, once told me he still walked every morning, so he figured his legs were fine. But I noticed something. He walked quickly, but with very short strides, almost dragging his feet. So I asked him, "Do your legs ever feel tired?" He nodded, "Sure they do, but I figured that's just part of getting older." I asked him to try a simple adjustment. Take slightly longer steps, just enough to feel a gentle stretch in your thighs. When your foot lands, let your heel touch first, then roll through to your toes. Gently lean forward as you walk and keep your posture upright. A few weeks later, he came back and said, "I can't believe it. Just changing the way I walk made my legs feel stronger. I get fewer cramps, and I don't get as tired standing for long periods." You don't have to walk fast like an athlete. You just need to make sure each step becomes a light workout for your legs. Stride long enough to engage your muscles. Walk with steady, strong, intentional steps. And if you catch yourself shuffling, stop, take a deep breath, and reset with purpose. Every good step is a gift to your legs. Walking the wrong way for a week, you might not notice much. But walk the wrong way for a year, and your legs will speak up with pain, fatigue, and a loss of control. And next up, did you know your arms, even though they're not doing the walking, play a big role in how you move? That's right. If you're not using your arms properly when you walk, your legs end up doing more work than they should. In the next part, we'll explore why forgetting your arms can make walking harder and more tiring, and how to fix it with one super simple tip. Not long ago, I went for a walk with an old friend, Marlene, 63 years old, a retired elementary school teacher from Oregon. She's always been serious about staying active, but that day, something about the way she walked just didn't sit right with me. Her arms weren't moving at all. They hung stiffly by her sides, frozen like they were glued in place. She was walking fast, but she looked tense and a little off balance. I gently asked her, "Do your shoulders ever feel sore? Or do you get dizzy after your walks?" She looked surprised. "Yes. How did you know?" You might think walking is all about your legs, but your arms actually play a major role. They act like secondary engines that help you stay balanced and add momentum to your stride. When your arms don't swing properly, your body has to compensate by tightening your legs, shoulders, and lower back. That leads to faster muscle fatigue in your legs, poor balance, especially when changing direction or stepping up curbs, tension and pain in your neck and shoulders from unnatural posture. I showed Marlene a simple tweak. Bend your elbows gently to about a 90-degree angle. Swing your arms naturally, left arm forward when your right leg steps, and vice versa. Don't overdo it. Just a light, relaxed motion is enough to keep things moving smoothly. We walked a few more laps around the lake. After 5 minutes of quiet, she looked over and smiled. I feel lighter already. And my shoulders, they actually feel relaxed. Walking isn't just about putting one foot in front of the other. It's a subtle coordination of muscles throughout your body. When your arms do their part, your legs don't have to overwork. Your movement becomes smoother and you feel energized, not drained. So the next time you go for a walk, check in with yourself. Are my arms joining me on this journey? That tiny bit of awareness can make a huge difference, not just for your body, but for your mind too. And now, let's talk about something a little surprising. Are you walking too slowly? It sounds counterintuitive, but if you're always walking at a very slow pace, you might not be engaging enough muscle to keep them strong. In the next section, we'll explore why walking too slowly might actually make you weaker and how to find the just right pace to stay strong and steady, even in your 60s and beyond. I used to believe that as long as I was walking every day, I was doing something good for my body, that simply staying active was enough to stay strong and flexible. But one afternoon, that belief shifted. During a walk with Mr. Sam, a 70-year-old retired engineer living just outside Seattle. We had barely stepped off the curb when he said, "You go ahead, I walk really slow. If I try to speed up, my knees start hurting. I nodded in understanding. But as we walked, for about half a mile, I noticed something. He moved at an extremely slow pace. Each step is gentle, as if he was afraid of breaking something beneath him. And by the time we reached the park bench, he had to sit down and catch his breath for quite a while. That's when it hit me. Walking slowly isn't always safer. Sometimes it's quietly making you weaker day by day. Slow walking sounds reasonable, less tiring, lower risk of tripping. But in reality, if your pace is too slow, your body doesn't get enough stimulation to keep your muscles, heart, and nervous system working at their best. Your leg muscles aren't challenged, so they don't grow stronger. Your heart rate barely rises, so circulation doesn't improve. Your nervous system doesn't train for sudden changes, so your reflexes weaken. According to the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, older adults who walk slower than 2 miles per hour, around 90 steps per minute, are twice as likely to lose their ability to walk independently within 5 years compared to those who maintain a moderate pace. I suggested a small but steady change for Mr. Sam. Each day, just increase the pace a little. No need to jog. Just walk with a bit more purpose. Try short intervals, 2 minutes of brisk walking, followed by 1 minute of slower walking. Focus on steady strides and upright posture, not just checking off a step count. 3 weeks later, Mr. Sam came back with a gentle smile. You know what? My legs feel steadier now. I'm not out of breath like before, and I can make it through the grocery store without having to stop halfway. Walking is a gift, but only when you walk with intention and awareness. If you feel like you've just been shuffling through the day, maybe it's time to turn up the dial just a little. You don't need to walk fast. You just need to walk with purpose. Focus on your breath. Count your steps. Let your body know that you're training, not just getting through it. And now, let's pause for a moment. Have you ever asked yourself, are the shoes you wear every day truly supporting you or quietly making you more tired? In the next section, we'll uncover something many people overlook. Wrong shoes equals poor posture equals weakening legs. And how to choose the right pair so every step supports you instead of holding you back. One mild autumn afternoon, I stopped by to visit Mr. and Mrs. Peterson. As usual, Mrs. Peterson was getting ready for her daily walk around the neighborhood. I happened to glance down at her shoes, a pair of thin, flat slip-ons with worn-down heels, slightly tilted to one side. I asked gently, "Do you wear those shoes often?" She smiled. "Oh, yes, they're so easy to slip on." My feet hurt a little, but I just figured that's part of getting older. But the truth is those convenient shoes were quietly working against her, weakening her feet little by little every single day. Shoes aren't just for covering your feet. They're the foundation for your whole body when you move. And if the foundation is off, everything above it, from your ankles to your lower back, gets thrown out of alignment. Shoes that are too soft absorb so much impact that your foot muscles stop working, leading to weakness. Shoes that are too stiff or lack proper arch support put strain on your joints, causing pain in your hips, knees, and even your back. Worn-out soles lead to uneven steps, affecting posture and increasing the risk of tripping or falling. I suggested she try switching to a lightweight athletic shoe, one with arch support, good cushioning, and a non-slip sole. At first, she wasn't thrilled. "These look like running shoes for younger people," she said. But just a few days later, she turned to me with a grin. "My feet don't hurt anymore. I even walk 2 extra laps without getting tired." Here's a simple checklist to find your ideal walking shoe, your true walking partner. Arch support to reduce joint strain. Non-slip sole, especially important for older adults. Flexible but not flimsy, allows your feet to move naturally. Firm heel, no sinking or uneven wear. Comfortable fit, make sure they feel good both when standing and walking briskly. And here's something most people don't realize. Shoes can wear out inside before they ever look worn outside. If you've been wearing the same pair daily for over a year, it might be time for a replacement. You don't need expensive shoes, you just need the right shoes. Because every single step, whether it's a morning stroll or a trip to the grocery store, is either strengthening your legs or slowly wearing them down. Don't let the wrong shoes steal your freedom with each step. And now, for the final piece, something almost everyone overlooks, Have you been walking only on smooth, flat surfaces like sidewalks or treadmills? If so, you might be missing out on an important opportunity to train your balance reflexes and those smaller stabilizing muscles that keep your legs strong. In the next section, we'll explore why only walking on flat ground can actually make your legs weaker, and how to safely add variety to your walking routine to build strength and stability. I have an acquaintance named Mr. Gerald. He's 73 years old. Every morning, like clockwork, he walks the same route around his neighborhood. A smooth, flat path. No hills, no stairs. Just the same stretch, day in and day out. One day I asked him, "Have you ever tried walking the park trails or going up a few stairs now and then?" He chuckled softly. "No, not really. Flat ground feels safest. At my age, the fewer risks, the better." It sounded reasonable. But then something happened. During a grocery run, he stepped off a curb, one just a bit lower than usual, and lost his balance. He didn't fall, but it was close. It wasn't because he was weak. It was because his legs had gotten too used to predictable, flat ground and had lost their quick reflexes. When you only walk on smooth, level surfaces, your body mainly uses the large muscle groups, like your quads and calves. But the small, stabilizing muscles that keep you balanced don't get activated. Your body forgets how to adjust to sudden changes in terrain. Your hips, ankles, and knees lose flexibility, making them stiff and prone to discomfort. In other words, if you always stick to the same flat route, your body slowly forgets how to adapt, and that's when real risk begins. I suggested Mr. Gerald try a few gentle changes. Once or twice a week, take a walk through a park trail with a dirt path. Use the stairs at home now and then instead of the elevator. Walk across the lawn, gravel, or a firm outdoor mat in the backyard. Surfaces that are slightly uneven but still safe. At first, he was hesitant, but just a few weeks later, he shared something surprising. "You know, stepping off the curb doesn't throw me like it used to. My legs react faster now. It's like I woke my body back up." You don't need to hike mountains or tackle rugged trails. Just give your legs a little surprise each week. Changing up your walking terrain is a great way to train your balance reflexes, activate deep and stabilizing muscles, build confidence in how you move, no matter where you are. Don't just walk the same path every day. Teach your body to handle the unexpected. That's true stability. We've now explored 6 small but common walking mistakes that can slowly weaken your legs, and more importantly, 6 simple, realistic fixes that can help you regain stability, confidence, and energy with every step. In the final part, we'll do a quick recap of the key takeaways, and I'll give you a 7-day mini challenge you can start right away. Trust me, your legs will thank you sooner than you think. If you made it this far, I have a feeling you might see a little bit of yourself in Mrs. Ellen, Mr. Jack, Marlene, or Mr. Gerald. You're still walking every day. You're doing your best to stay healthy. But somewhere along the way, your legs don't feel as steady as they used to, and you're not quite sure why. Today, we explored 6 small things. Things that may seem harmless at first, but over time, if left unchecked, can quietly weaken your legs year after year. Looking down while walking, causing poor posture, imbalanced steps, and spinal strain. Taking very short strides, limiting muscle engagement, and making legs weaker. Not using your arms, forcing your legs to carry more than their fair share. Walking too slowly, which limits cardio and muscular activation. Wearing the wrong shoes, leading to poor alignment, joint pain, and reduced flexibility. Only walking on flat surfaces, missing the chance to train balance, reflexes, and adaptability. Walking is something we all know how to do, but walking the right way, that's something few people really pay attention to. And it's the small adjustments you make today that will protect your strength, confidence, and freedom for years to come. So I invite you to try something simple. Over the next 7 days, every time you go for a walk, choose just one thing from today's video to focus on. Look up instead of down. Lengthen your stride just a little. Gently swing your arms. Pick up your pace by 10%. Wear more supportive shoes. Or take a few steps on a slope or set of stairs instead of the flat path. Just one thing each day. But if you stick with it, you will feel the difference. Clearly, if this video helped you in any way, I'd love to hear from you. Which habit surprised you the most? Which one will you try first? Leave a comment and let me know. And if you have a parent, a friend, or anyone in your life who's struggling with their walking, please share this video with them. Sometimes, one timely reminder is all it takes to change someone's health journey. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because in upcoming videos, I'll be sharing gentle exercises to strengthen your legs, knees, and back, tips on choosing the best walking shoes for adults over 60, and even a guide to the most walkable parks in the U.S. for seniors. You don't need to walk like you did at 30. You just need to walk right and walk consistently, like someone who understands the value of every step. Thank you for walking with me all the way to the end of today's journey. Keep walking. Every steady step is a reminder you are stronger than you think. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep walking strong, with joy, with purpose, and with freedom.